Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So today's video is going to be DIY Christmas decorations. I'm going to show you how to make 3 different Christmas decorations. Okay, so let's jump right in. Okay, so the first DIY I'm going to show you is a table centerpiece. You need a couple of mason jars, or 3 depending on how many picks you want to put in each, some ribbon and some fairy lights, and then these picks with the greenery and the berries. I also used a hot glue gun because I wanted to keep the ribbon in place on my mason jar. So I just started by wrapping around the ribbon on the mason jar to see how long the ribbon had to be, and I did 2 layers. I did a layer of burlap, and then I did the buffalo check with the snowflakes on top of it. And I was originally planning on making 3 of these jars, so I cut 3 strands of each. And then when I started placing the picks, I realized, okay, I only have 6 picks. 2 picks in each does not look right. So, yeah. But honestly, this one was the easiest one, other than having to untangle the fairy lights and kind of figuring out the exact placement of the greenery and the berries and okay, so after I'd figured out generally what direction I wanted the picks in, I removed the picks and was very carefully holding them together so they didn't really move. And I wrapped the fairy lights around the bottom of them. And then I just kind of haphazardly placed the fairy lights that weren't wrapped around the picks in the jar. And I did make sure that the battery pack was in the back behind the greenery. That way you didn't see it. That's when my glue gun was finally ready. I don't know, this is a new glue gun, so I'm still kind of learning with this one. And that's when, or no, I ended up going through the jars and doing the greenery on each and the fairy lights on each of them before my glue gun was ready. That's when I placed the ribbon. And I just glued the burlap ribbon to it. Then I wrapped a piece of the buffalo check ribbon around the center of the burlap ribbon. I wish I would have had like actual burlap and not just a burlap ribbon. I think it would have looked a little bit better, but I liked how it turned out either way. And I originally was not planning on adding a bow, but after looking at it for a little while and setting with it, I did realize, okay, so I need a little bit of a bow. So off camera, I wish I would have done it on camera, I tied a bow as best as I could, and then I glued the bow to the center of the buffalo check ribbon already glued to the jar. And I think it looks really cute. It's rustic and country, but that's kind of what I was going for, because that's what's going to match the decor that I'm planning on doing this year, which you will see in an upcoming video. And I don't know. So yeah, it worked. this is the final product. I did want to show it with it all lit up. And trust me, I will end up doing adjustments on these fairy lights as the season goes. I just have a feeling. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to work on was some wooden ornaments. I got these wood slabs off of Amazon for a really good deal, and I've seen ornaments made out of them before, and I'm thinking, you know what? Let me try that. I want to see how these really turn out, because I've seen them on Amazon, I've seen them on Etsy, and I think I can do that at home, and if I do it cost effectively enough, it won't cost me an arm and a leg. So yeah, but I ended up doing some red, green, black, white, and then I left some of the wood slabs, just the plain wood. And I still have more that I could make later on if I need to. And honestly, I think these were my favorite DIY in this entire video. The first one was the easiest one, and this one was my favorite one. Because all I had to do was paint on the wood, let that dry, and go in and put my design on them. And I had some inspiration from some stuff on Pinterest. And then some of it I came up with in my head. But I'm extremely thrilled with how all of these turned out. And I love every single one of them. Okay, so this was the most complicated part to making these ornaments, was stringing them up, because I had to do it in a very particular way. So they would stay. I originally started with trying to poke the jute twine and the ribbon through with scissors, and I ended up switching to a wooden skewer, and that worked best. But I just doubled up the string, pushed the double up in through the hole, and kind of secured it like that. And then I put beads on it. That was the hardest thing, but I did finally get it, and it worked. It was just this first one was just kind of, okay, how do I do this? How's this going to work? And I just kind of had to get used to it. But these turned out really cute. But I will say, make sure you make your string or your jute twine or whatever you're using longer than you think you're going to need. Because I had to go through a few times on a few of them and clip the ends every time I secured something. Then after I'd secured the beads, I just tied a knot at the top of it. And that way, when I'm ready to hang it up on the Christmas tree or hang it somewhere else, I'm already ready to do that. But this is the final product for these. I think these would look really cute as ornaments, but these also work really well for gifts or just little random decorations around the house. Like I did 15 different designs just starting out. And of course I have more and I can play with these a little bit more. Then the final DIY I'm showing you today is terracotta pots. I did terracotta pots in my Halloween DIY video, and they're just so cute and they're so easy to make your own. And so I did a Santa, like part of the Santa set, it looked like the Santa coat. Then I did a snowman and a reindeer. I made it Rudolph because I had red pom-poms. But of course, if you don't... I've also seen where you can make these like little gingerbread houses, and I thought that would be cute. And I might still do that because we still have plenty of time in this season for more crafting, but honestly, it seemed like a little painstaking. And yeah, I've got my tongue out because that's what I do when I focus. So yeah, I'm sorry. But that's just what I do. But first thing first was get the first coat on these so they could dry. I didn't actually have to do a second coat on any of these except for the white ones. But that was expected. But I did paint these in kind of sections, like the Santa hat or the Santa coat. I did the red. I let the red dry. Then I went through with the white. And I let the white dry. Then after both of that was dry, I went through and did like the belt and the belt buckle. And I ended up doing that with my paint pens instead of actually painting it on there. The Santa one was the easiest one, I will say, because... Or maybe... Because the reindeer, you have to make antlers out of pipe cleaners. Well, I guess you don't have to, but it don't really look like a reindeer if it doesn't have antlers. And of course, you can just paint all of these by hand if you would like. You don't have to add a pom-pom on for the nose. But I had it available in my little craft bin, so that's what I used. Okay, so for the antlers, you need one pipe cleaner for each antler. So it does take 4. I thought I could get 2 out of 1, and no, you can't. But you have to twist the pipe cleaner around itself. I did 3 times. That way it has 3 points on each antler, and I thought they turned out really cute. And then you use your hot glue gun and go through, and yeah, I burnt myself. And you just glue them to the inside of the pot. But these turned out really cute, I think. But I think all of these turned out really cute. So, yeah. I don't know what I'm doing with these yet. I think I'm going to take them and decorate at my grandma's with them or something. So, yeah. I don't know. We'll see. But that's what they turned out looking like when they were all done. So that's going to be it for this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Hit the red subscribe button down below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you Monday for my next video. I think it's Monday. Whatever day December 1st is, I will see you on December 1st for another video. And that should be a Christmas decor tour, or a Christmas decor haul. We'll see. So, yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.